Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play The Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve, where we're continuing on in the third case of the game, The Return of the Great Departed Soul, where we are in the first part of the trial. Let's see if my throat can handle this. I've been focusing on recording more of my other LP, Dear Monster, because I'm still recovering from this damn COVID cough. I might have to pop a lozenge because of it. I still cough at times, and I still have like a rasp in my voice. So, just forewarning, it's not over, and it feels like it will never be over at this rate. Like, my God, I didn't know I was gonna get that long haul COVID or whatever, but damn. Order, how do you explain this, Inspector? Oh, before I forget, let me address some comments that you guys made recently. You brought up some great points about Van Zeeks that I kind of forgot, but I mean, it was in the back of my mind, but I did forget. Bringing up from his point of view about the first trial that he had with Naruhodo was the one with McGilded, where McGilded was definitely guilty as hell, and we were defending him. So of course, from his point of view, we were, defending and set free a very guilty man. And then everything else you guys were writing, totally true, totally valid points. So like I said, I am okay with the pacing that they went with. Of course, my preferences of him being nicer a bit faster or showing more, not nicer, showing more of his backstory, I should say, faster. That's still my preference, but they did their pacing the way they had to. They wrote the story the way they wanted to, and it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. The story is the way the story is. So far, it's good. I think I'm trying to remember if there was one case that I still kind of feel like maybe it was the first game. Like if they took it out, maybe it would have been better. And I can't even remember because it's been so long since I played the first game. I wouldn't say take it out, maybe cut it down. Because I feel like the first game, was it the last case? Like there was some cases in that last game that felt like they took way too long, like they dragged it out too long. But Ace Attorney does that a lot, you know? Pacing is always like the hardest part of these games. Just like, especially when we, the player, know the formula and we're like, okay, we get it. We figured it out already, but sometimes it just takes too long to get there. So that's my issue sometimes, is pacing. But I totally get like the story and everything sometimes, that I'm like, okay, I'm on board with the story. I'm invested. I'm not complaining or anything. I'm still enjoying that, you know? But I'm noticing when it comes to this game or this series, there's like a very fervent, passionate obsession with it, to the point that when people ask me my thoughts of it, I almost don't want to say anything anymore because they're so defensive of it, that I'm like, oh, I can't even give any, not that I want to critique it per se, but I can't even say anything without them jumping on me. It's happened like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, well, I'm still early in the game. And like this happened like a while back, and Von Zieks hadn't had his, he hasn't changed yet. So of course I'm like it was during the episode when I was like wanting to throw him out the window. But I'm joking around, when I say I want to throw him out the window. Of course he's frustrating me because he's hindering my progress, but and pissing me off. But it's not like, I know he's doing his job. I know that. He's just doing his job, even if he's pissing me off along the way. But like, the obsessiveness with defending Von Zieks from this one person, who's not any of you guys who are commenting, kind of teed me off a little. And it's because this was someone who's already played the whole game, played the whole thing, and knows the ending, knows everything about Von Zieks, knows everything, and was treating me like I was shitting on him, shitting on the game. And I'm not. I was just saying that I was joking about throwing him out the window or whatever. And I was like, dude, calm the hell down. First of all, you're always messaging me privately. Where are you at? What do you think of the game? What do you think? And I'm like, first of all, if you were watching the LP, you would know where I'm at in the story. I'm not very far. I'm only on case, 1 or 2 or whatever at the time. Second of all, I'm allowed to have an opinion. I'm a Let's Player. That's what we're kind of doing here. We're supposed to kind of talk and commentate on our opinions. And third of all, I'm really not shitting on the game at all. I am enjoying it a lot. I'm very passionately a fan of this series. And like I've said, Von Zieks is not nowhere near a bad prosecutor compared to I have 2 in the series that I can shit on if I want to. And I will shit on. I've already said multiple times, I can't stand Godot. And anybody who wants to defend him, I will fight you. No, I'm kidding. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. People want to die on the hill of defending Godot, you can. I don't care. I really don't care. You are entitled to your opinion. I don't like Godot. You know? And that's that. I've already played the game, so it's not like I don't know anything and everything about Godot that I've seen in the game. But that's opinions based on what we've seen, based on what we know. I don't know everything about Von Zieks, so up to this point, I was just like, well, I don't love the guy. I think he's hot. I think he has his funny moments with the leg and his overdramatic and his vampire tendencies. And I've seen little glimpses where he can be decent. Like, I remember him being nice with Rolly Beat and his wife and all of that. I remember that. So I have hope. I was like, yeah, I think he's going to turn around. Like, they always have some kind of redemption for them, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm seeing it now. It's developing. I'm happy. I'm excited for it. But that person, man, I have not been responding to that person. Sorry for ranting about this, but your comments were fine. But it just reminded me of this person. So I just had to rant about that a little bit, just because I don't know if this person is watching the LP, and I doubt it. But if they are watching, I don't appreciate your comments. I don't appreciate you messaging me, and that's why I'm not responding anymore. It's actually pissing me off, so that's why I'm not responding to you anymore. You messaged me recently about something else, and I haven't responded, and that's why. Because I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to engage with you anymore if you're going to be like this. If you can have respectful conversation with me that's not going to bait me into things that I feel like you want to spoil me about this game or any other game in the series, you know, we can just chat casually. Cool. I'm all for that. But I feel like half the time you either want to spoil me or you want to criticize or judge my comments. And I'm like, bruh, I'm blind to the game. Why are you going to criticize and judge me? Come on. Alright. Rant over. Sometimes a Let's Player has to put their foot down, and this is one of those moments. So, anyway, like I said, I agreed with you guys' comments. So, thank you for the comments about Von Zieks and pointing out his point of view about Naruhodo and all that. Very valid, very true. And I'm looking forward to his continued growth. Yeah. Let's see. Throat. Please behave, throat, because I'm worried about all the voices I have to do. Of course, I'm not going to remember all the voices I gave the frickin' jurors. There's too many of y'all. Can't we just have a Danganronpa trial and kill them all? I'm kidding. Oh, Danganronpa. I'm thinking about it only because Game Grumps is playing Danganronpa V3 right now. And they're making me mad because they're not liking my favorite character and they want that character to die. And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? So I'm a little angry at them right now. I don't even remember what's going on. It's literally been over a week since I last recorded this. I don't know. Is this about the transporting from locations? Or about the screwdriver? Maybe about the screwdriver, right? It looks as though everything that the victim had on his person... Yeah, everything the victim had on his person moved with him when he was beamed. If the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred, obviously that should have been beamed to the destination as well. This is a strange situation. Even though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis is a scientific impossibility, we're still basing arguments on the assumption that it did actually take place. We just had to prove like this was a magic trick, basically. And about the whole wax figure, but it's gonna take us a while to get there. We really need Sherlock to prove that the wax figure ended up stolen. That was stolen. Came into play here. Alright, time to tighten the screws here. Ha! Nice one, Naruhodo. Little pun there. My lord, if the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its argument, we can only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied upon. Oh. Why are you glaring at me? Come on, man, we're working together here, right? We're trying to help your buddy out. Don't glare. I was just talking about you. I was saying nice things. Lord Von Zeeks is stumped. Who the hell was that? I don't recognize that voice. That was you? You said it so different. Oh, God, it was so high-pitched. Do you have something to say, witness? Yes, I knew it. It bears out. The equations hold. Mr. Naruhodo, don't worry. About what? Without delving into the details, there is no inconsistency. I'm trying to defend you, you fool. What are you doing? What? I think he's gonna ruin it now. Even if Andrew had been lodged in Mr. Asmon's chest, my trusty tool wouldn't have moved. Andrew remaining on the stage is consistent with my calculations. What? You're just ruining it. What are you doing? Throws a bottle to shut up everybody. It would seem your illusions have been shattered. Clearly, we should hear the accused's explanation. What are you doing? We're defending you! Why are you helping Von Zeeks? I know he's your buddy slash potential boyfriend? Kinda? I kinda ship it, honestly. What are you doing, you fool? You fool! Sometimes our own clients turn against us. How could you? Or should I say, this brilliant scientist's explanation. Yeah, go ahead and compliment your boyfriend. I see how it is. I see how it is. Stop flirting in front of me, Von Zeeks. Gay, gay, gay. He's like, don't call me gay when you're gay. I know how you and my masked apprentice are behind the scenes. He's like, what? You figured out that it's Kazuma too? I'm sorry. Oh, I can't wait for that reveal. I can't wait. I'm so convinced that it's him. I'm like, oh, I'm so impatient. When is that gonna happen? When? Rinosuke. Put a screwdriver in me. I'm done. Just when I'd found an inconsistency in the prosecution's argument. Scientists. Very well, the defendant will testify again. Provide us with a scientific explanation as to why the inconsistency asserted by the defense fails to hold. In the name of Apollo, I will, my lord. Apollo? I know that's not our Apollo, but why? Why? Are you Greek now? What? Inconsistency explained. To be clear, I'm still at the stage of gathering data in my research. My hypothesis states that kinesis cannot transport metal, though. Hence, the metal weapon would have stayed put. In other words, the point just raised by Mr. Naruhodo isn't an inconsistency at all. Mr. Asman was the patron of my research. Without him, my work wouldn't have been possible. Now I have a duty to protect the incredible machine that we built together. But was the victim wearing metal? I have to check. I have to look at the picture. So, the thrust of your... Thrust, okay. Oh my. Sorry. Dirty brain. Hold on. Let's see. Is there metal? Oh! Excuse me. First of all, I don't know if that's metal on, like, on the buckles of his suspenders, but his glasses, sir! Yigiati! Alright. The thrust of your testimony, Professor, is that based upon his hypothesis, metal objects cannot be moved by this method of instantaneous kinesis. In other words, since the screwdriver is made of metal, even if it remained lodged in the victim's chest, its subsequent discovery on the stage, despite the victim being found elsewhere, is not an inconsistency. And therefore, Professor Albert Harebrayne could still have been the killer. My great hypothesis holds, you see? You fool. We had to make the cage used to contain the subject from wood for that very reason. I was not addressing you, witness. Professor Harebrayne. Yes? Whose side are you on here? My boyfriend's, clearly. I don't take sides, Mr. Naruhodo. No, no, no. My only interest lies in upholding my hypothesis. I'm a scientist, after all, even if I end up in prison. You mean death row? Is he working for us or against us? It's very hard to tell. He's working for the truth, I guess. Let's see how you cross-examine this testimony, my Nipponese friend. Yes, fire away, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright, inconsistency. Let's go. Which one, though? Cannot transport metal, so I guess just this one. Where's the picture? Objection! There. That's easy. Professor Harebrayne, you say that according to your hypothesis, nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using the machine you made. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Spot on. Exactly correct. In that case, I'd ask you to have a look at this photograph that was taken at the scene. In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to the victim's face. You can clearly see that Mr. Asman is wearing a pair of spectacles with a metal rim. What? Metal? No, metal can't. That's not... Metal? No! You've already established that the proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver, was found on the stage. However, if your hypothesis correctly predicted that outcome, It should also have predicted that the metal-rimmed spectacles would be found in the same place.
Ah, my hypothesis! My hypothesis!
Professor Harebrayne, a scientist learns the hypotheses? I think it's hypotheses for multiple? I don't remember. God dang it. Are meant to be broken. That's how it is in science. Sorry. Just dropped my phone. Professor Harebrayne, this isn't easy for me to say, but your hypothesis is clearly flawed.
Wah!
Bruh. Stop crying, you big baby. Order, order, order! Council, what is the implication of this? If, on the day in question, the alleged instantaneous kinesis never actually took place, then it's entirely possible that the victim was killed somewhere other than on the stage. And in that case, someone other than the defendant could have been the culprit.
But my hypothesis is sound. I proved it that day. The experiment was a success. The experiment was proof of all my work.
Okay, you're gonna put him in his place. That he's being too stubborn, right? He just needs to take it like a man.
If I could say something here, in my capacity as a fellow of the Royal Society.
Yes, juror number 4. Go ahead.
As a man of science, there's one thing I simply cannot abide. And that's a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science.
Yeah, I have to admit, he has a point. The way he's acting is not a real scientist. He's too stubborn.
What? Wait! Great Scott! Are you suggesting my science is suspect?
I mean, that's kind of what Iris was saying about you, too.
It's just been disproved, hasn't it? In front of all of us. In other words, the whole demonstration was a complete nonsense from start to finish. Believe me, my fellow jurors, when I tell you that this man is a heel, a bounder, and a fraud.
I say the wreckage of that machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined.
No! Never! That machine is the essence of my entire hypothesis! It's protected by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act!
What the devil is that blasted act all about, eh? Who made up such a daft rule?
I don't remember the voices, but I think the ones I'm giving them are accurate enough, so whatever. I don't like the way this seems to be going. What's the best way for me to help the professor? I know you want to help protect his machine, but I think protecting his life is better? I don't know. Maybe we should try to raise an objection? I don't know.
Objection!
Professor Harebrayne has yet to perfect his invention. That would seem to be the case, yes. But even so...
Even so, what?
Going to such trouble and expense to create a fake machine to display in public. He would have absolutely no reason to do such a thing. Okay, thank you for at least saying something to not call him a complete fraud.
Objection!
You had an obvious reason to do exactly that. For the research grant money.
Uh-oh. Ugh!
If the government was foolish enough to have deemed the man's ridiculous notion plausible, he and his conspirators would have received a handsome sum indeed.
Conspirators?
What would be the value of such a grant? £10?
You're an order of magnitude out, madam. 500 pounds a year.
Oh, you could leave handsome on that much for years.
I don't know what voice I gave them. I don't know. I'm kind of giving Southern Twang to two of the girls. Wow, why am I doing this? I don't know. They both seem... She seems like a Southern belle, and then she seems like a like a country little girl, so...
The society's noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently, and plenty of scientists arguing with each other to get the largest slice of the funding cake. People's greed is plenty motive enough for murder, I assure you.
He has a point, but I don't want to believe that Harebrayne did that, so...
No, I haven't deceived anyone, least of all the government. My hypothesis is sound, the science is sound. Please, you must believe me.
Objection!
No matter how unbelievable this hypothesis may seem to you, ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains that the victim was transported instantly to the Crystal Tower. Which means that the experiment was a success.
So, in a way, it almost feels like Barack is protecting him. He's protecting his reputation by saying he's not a complete fraud. But he's also kind of screwing him over at the same time. I don't know. It's a tricky situation, so we still gotta figure a way out of this. I mean, he's still doing his job, but it's like, damn, how are we gonna get out of this? What if we prove one thing, we're kind of proving the other? Oh, Harebrayne, we're in such a bad situation. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this, dude. That's why I know we need to figure out the murder part, but how are we gonna figure out the science part without getting you screwed? I feel like you're gonna have to take an L in one aspect or the other. Take an L, lose your machine, lose your, I don't know, your street cred as a scientist. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Ah, Barack.
And therefore, the only person who could have possibly have committed this murder is the accused.
Ah, Barack.
The two ways to say the name. Where is this heading? I have no idea. Me neither, dude. That's what I was just saying. I'm so like I kind of know that there's magic, like illusion involved, but I don't know who's behind it. Because this guy genuinely seems to believe that his science is real? Which I'm like, he really seems to believe that? So who's pulling the wool over whose eyes? Was it Asmod? I don't know. I don't know who the murderer is yet, because we haven't met anyone else involved other than Madame Tispels. So it's like, clearly we're gonna have to do another investigation portion, because I feel like there's so much we still don't know. Like, whoever took the wax figure... There has to be another investigation portion.
My lord, if I may. Yes, Lord Von Zieks. The prosecution would like to summon new witnesses to the stand. New witnesses? What would be the nature of their involvement? They were spectators of the demonstration at the exhibition, who were occupying special seats.
Okay.
Eyewitnesses. Very well, the court grants the prosecution's request. I should very much like to hear from eyewitnesses to the incident. The prosecution's stance is clear. This experiment was no postiche. The accused killed the financier victim there on the public stage before the very eyes of the spectators. Now, my learned friend.
Oh, yes?
It's time for you to make your own stance clear.
There's clearly a flaw in the professor's hypothesis. I can definitely see that. But where does that leave me?
We shall take a short recess now, during which time the prosecution will prepare its new witnesses to take the stand. As you wish, my lord. Good. In that case, court is adjourned for 20 minutes.
Okay, normally I try to go like an hour, but I need a little break to drink some water and stuff, because my throat. So we'll have a short episode. It's a good place to leave it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying this. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.